I'm speaking on the subject of leading through change and uncertainty. What are the challenges that confront us when it comes to the area of leading? When we can't predict tomorrow, we can't predict the challenges that we face. And so we will be going through great principles that will empower us to understand why leadership is necessary as you want to explore the possibility of becoming a businessman either online through other areas. All right, good. Now we have the opportunity to do that. And let's just see. Yes, great. Okay, so I guess we are now ready. And off we will take over. Okay, so this is some Mensah Ministries. And as you have been told, this is my name and what I do in areas of my work. Now, we are looking at leading through change and uncertainty. Now, we will look at some basic definitions of leadership and how it really impacts our lives. The first has to do with what John Cotter said. Leadership is the process of moving a group of people in some direction, which is not by force, not forcing the people, but moving them into a meaningful direction. But I like the definition of Dennis, who said leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. Take note, it is the capacity to translate vision into reality. Too many people, a lot of people may have vision, but they don't have the ability, the capacity to translate it into vision. So the concept is having the capacity to translate vision into reality. Now, what does that mean? That having the capacity, if you look at these definitions, it comes in various forms. It includes influence, vision, communication, problem solving, decision-making, teamwork, empowerment, and the process of guiding groups towards a goal. So when we talk of having the capacity to translate vision into reality, it means that that capacity will involve your ability to influence people, your ability to communicate that vision and dream, having the grace and the ability to solve problems, taking meaningful decisions, working with a team, empowering people, and guiding people towards a meaningful goal. Now, I'd like us to look at the word of opportunity. And from the Oxford Dictionary, it says it's a time or a set of circumstances that makes it possible to do something. An opportunity simply suggests a situation that allows you to do something. So take note, a situation that allows you to do something. And the Webster suggested that it's a favorable junction of circumstances. I like that. It's like a T-junction. But that T-junction is favorable. So do you take a left turn or a right turn? Okay, do you take a left turn or right turn? So it's a T-junction or a major junction. Do you go straight or turn left or turn right? Now, based upon the favorable conditions, that favorable conditions will also determine how prepared you are. You may have favorable conditions, but you are not prepared. You may have favorable conditions, but you don't have the capacity. You may have favorable conditions, but you may not have the skills. So it is one thing having a favorable condition, and another thing being prepared to take advantage of that favorable condition. This great platform that has been provided you by the Kingdom Entrepreneurship, Enterprise Embassy, it is giving you that opportunity to prepare yourself, having the capacity and the ability to take advantage of the global favorable conditions that is available for us. So basically, the business definition also said it's a set of circumstances that makes it possible to do something, usually which leads to a potential gain or benefit, okay? So it is circumstances which also will make it possible. Not only that, but it will help you to do something meaningful, which will lead you to your potential, the ability you have, taking advantage of that ability, and it will bring you some benefit. Having said that, these definitions actually highlight a concept of opportunity, which tells us it's favorable conditions, circumstances that will enable the possibility of achieving something beneficial. So most nations over the period from the COVID era up to now have been faced with severe economic crises. From Japan, Germany, France, Italy, UK, US, Australia, all over around the world, people have been confronted with these global challenges to the extent that it's affecting the individual and also affect our businesses as well. So the challenge is, there are key questions we should ask ourselves. And it means, how can you grow from what you have? How can you grow what you have? How can you add value to your life in the midst of all these difficulties and challenges? How can you multiply and expand your business? Okay? How do you want to move to the next level in life? Whether in your family life, in your business life, social life, how would you like to move? How do you move to the next level of your life? How can you also be different in the midst of all the challenges we are dealing with? And how do you manage crises or uncertainties of life? How can you also break this cycle of putting in so much but you get so little or nothing? Where do we go from here? That is an important question we are going to address. And so the question is, how do you lead through uncertainty? I'm going to walk you through practical steps that will guide you as a participant. Number one, everyone faces challenges in life. That's an acceptable fact. We need to understand that. But everyone faces challenges. So you are not the only one going through difficulties or challenges of life. And we will give you some few examples. Oprah Winfrey, we know her, a great media, philanthropist, a great media guru, went through in her early development poverty. She tasted what we call poverty. She was abused, in discrimination all over. But in spite of her abuse and trauma and obstacles, she persevered and was able to build a global media empire. She did not allow her background to define her. And she faced challenges. But what happened with the challenges? And how did she come out with it? So Oprah overcame the adversity by leveraging her resilience. She was determined and passion for storytelling. She identified the gift, and her gift was naturally telling story. And she had a passion. So the question is, what is your passion? What gift can you identify? Anyone born of a woman came into this world with four things. Okay? Anyone born of a woman came into this world with four things. And you can write them down or take note. Number one, gift. G for gift, A for ability, P for profession, and T for talent. Let me say that again. G for gift, A for ability, P for profession, and T for talent. We call it gaps. Anyone born of a woman has been blessed with gaps. And so for Oprah, in the midst of her poverty, her discrimination, the abuse, she identified a talent. And listen, there are challenges all over around me, but I've identified a talent, and I will use that passion to connect to my talent. Listen, passion, connect to my talent. Passion, connect to my talent. So either you swim or you sink. You are on the ocean. You have two choices. You have one choice out of the two. Either you swim or you sink. But Oprah decided to swim based upon the identification of her abilities and skills. So she used all her various different experiences and connected with others. And today she is a global icon. Abraham Lincoln was faced with several challenges, including what? Poverty. Again, all these great guys came from a very poor. So the fact that you come from Africa does not stop you from becoming what what you have been ordained to be. The fact that you come from a very poor country is no excuse that you cannot make an impact. Okay? The fact that you come from a poor background should not hinder you. Abraham Lincoln came from a very poor environment, grew up in a very poor family with limited formal education. Take note, limited formal education. He couldn't express himself. He couldn't read well. That was his situation. His family, he had struggles in his family. The mother passed away. The father married another woman who didn't even like him. And he got into businesses. All his businesses, most of him failed. But that didn't also stop him there. He went into politics and it was a disaster. He lost several elections, which included, a bid to the U.S. Senate in 1858. He lost a big time. He went through personal tragedies. He experienced the death of his son, Eddie, in 1850, and the son, Willie, in 1862. In the midst of all this, Abraham Lincoln became the most cherished United States president, the most loved United States president, U.S. president. He went through mental health challenges. But Lincoln dwelt with the depression. He dealt with the depression and the melancholic behavior. But yet this was a celebrated president. How? In spite of all the challenges, he overcame all these challenges through what means self-education. He decided to read and develop his writing and speaking skills. So you see, when you identify your shortcomings, you do something about it. Remember, Dennis' definition of leadership is the ability, the capacity to translate vision into action. For Lincoln, his vision was in the White House. When you realize that being in the White House and you can't read well, you can't write well, wouldn't take you there. So he gave himself self-education. He personally took the responsibility, training himself, reading and learning to how to write and how to speak. He also worked very hard. He labored. He became a postmaster and finally a lawyer to support himself and his family. He was very tough and resilient. He bounced back in the midst of all the challenges. He learned from his failures and used them as opportunities for growth. You heard me. He learned from these failures and used them as opportunities for growth. He had a supportive relationship. Family members supported him and encouraged him that he could do something, especially the wife. And he was guided by strong values. We will look at that. He was guided by strong values and principles. One interesting thing about Abraham Lincoln, we are told that he was full of humor. So you see, he used his natural tendencies, natural giftings, natural ability, mixed it with the grace he had, and then he connected with others. So everybody has something. Remember, everybody has a gap. So identify your gaps and then ask yourself, what can I do with the gap? How can this gap be connected to my passion? And then how can I position myself taking advantage of the opportunities? Remember, the opportunities are like circumstances at a T-junction. That will be favorable circumstances. And then you connect your abilities to that. All right? We are talking on the subject leading through uncharted waters, leading through uncertainties, and leading through change. Number two, you need to be open to new ideas. If you are not sure of where you are going, the principles of leading yourself through uncertainties, be open to new ideas. Thomas Edison said, opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overall, in a workshop uniform, and it does not look like a work. So people just abandon it. But opportunities wouldn't come and say, I am Mr. Opportunity. Take me, take me, take me. No, opportunity do not come in a nice suit. Opportunity comes in a way that sometimes you may not recognize. So be open to new ideas. Now, what do we mean by that? In all your struggles and challenges, you don't display arrogance. These are principles I want you to take note. All right, write them down. These are valuable principles. You may probably not get it in any university, and you may probably not get it in your lifetime. Take note. In your struggles and challenges, don't display arrogance. Number two, in your struggles and challenges, during crisis, you don't display the attitude, I know it all. And number three, in crisis times, you need to be open to fresh ideas. Write that word down, fresh ideas. Number four, invite ideas from people outside of your circles. Okay, go beyond your circles and just talk to people. Find out what they'll be telling you. Number five, the people within your own circles may be limited with ideas because they have run out of probably options. So if you are working with a group of people and perhaps they are not able to help you move forward, they may probably have run out of options. Talk to people outside of your circles. Now, this is a very beautiful practical story that occurred one day. A young man, a middle-aged person, businessman, a bank manager, well-dressed in suit, was driving down the street in a part of Accra. And then in the afternoon, between the time of the hours of about 12 to 2, his car broke down. He had a flat tire. This man literally got down, took off his jacket, and had his tie on. And then he changed the flat tire. But when he finished, he was looking around and he couldn't find all the 4 bolts that could fix the tire back. And for 15 minutes, he was just sketching, trying to look for the bolts. And he realized that the bolts were missing. He just couldn't understand how the bolts just got missing. Around that same period, there was a lunatic guy who was just walking past and then observed the scene. And so the lunatic guy stood and then asked the manager, "Sir, what are you doing? What are you looking for?" The man just lifted up his head, looked at him, and realized that he was shabbily dressed. He was shabbily dressed and just a lunatic. And so he just ignored him. And the man kept asking the lunatic guy, "Please, what are you looking for?" And then finally, reluctantly, the manager said, "I'm looking for my boots, just to fix my tie." The lunatic guy just looked at him, shook his head, and said, "This is common sense." Can you imagine how this manager felt? He felt insulted by a lunatic guy, we call it crazy guy. Here was this manager in suit, beautiful car. A lunatic guy was telling him, "This is common sense." And the lunatic man told him, "Why don't you take one knot from each of the 3 ties? Then you will have 3 bolts. Fix it on the tie that you have replaced, drive to the nearest workshop, and then go buy 4 more nuts and replace them." The man said, "What? How come I couldn't have that idea? How come I didn't think about it? How come I didn't consider this? How could a lunatic guy give me such a brilliant idea?" But what is the moral lessons from this? The key lessons from this true stories: don't analyze every problem from an expert point of view alone. Number 2, respect the opinion of everyone, even those who seem to be the most common person in your group. Number 3, don't look down on the opinion of those you don't respect just because they are not in your class. Most of it, that's what we do. Number 4 key lesson: experts are not always right in all cases. And I like that. Experts are not always right in all cases. Number 5, don't look at things only from the angle you are standing. What you may see as figure 6 may be figure 9 at the other end. So don't insist that you are always right. Perhaps the other guy, you are seeing it as 6. The other guy is also seeing it at 9. Is he right? Yes. Are you also right? Yes. The moment you exchange positions, then you will realize, oh, I see. Now I got you, as the Americans will say. Now I understand what you are saying. All right? So we don't have to be judgmental. It depends upon where you are standing and sitting, and you can see things differently. Number 6, promote the clash of ideas. This is my favorite part. Promote the clash of ideas. What does that mean? Allow people to share their ideas. If you're a leader and you are working with a group of people, just listen, 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 listen. Just collect all the ideas, and then the best idea will jump out of the basket of the ideas, and then give that best idea the legs to walk on and the wings to fly. All right. So that is exactly what you need to do. And that's what I've just said here. So listen and generate ideas. Number 3, don't give up. St. Churchill said, a pessimist sees the difficulty in every situation. However, an optimist sees the opportunity in every situation. Is the same challenge, is the same problem, but a pessimist will say, oh no, it's not possible. But an optimist will say, hey, there is opportunity there. For every problem you encounter, there is a business component in it, okay? For every problem that will confront you in this social life, there is a business component you can take advantage of. So don't give up. What do we mean? Look at the case of Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla, who had multiple setbacks and failures throughout his career. He experienced financial difficulties. He went through personal struggles. He had professional challenges, but he overcame all these obstacles. He didn't give up. How? He was relentless. He would bounce back. He focused on his goals. That is the most important thing. Focus on your goals. And he embraced risk-taking. And above all, he was learning from his mistakes. That is the most important thing we need to understand. He was learning from his mistakes. We know him to be a great businessman, great millionaire right now. His ability, to face, his failures and continually pushing the barriers of innovation has really brought him to that great success. So he was able to bounce back. The principle is don't give up. Number 4, use different methods. You heard me. Use different methods. Milton Bell said, if opportunity doesn't work, my goodness, create a door. You will knock on the door. But if the door is not there, complain. Create your own door, man. Create your own door. So create your own opportunity. We are giving you great opportunity on this platform. The Kingdom Entrepreneurship, Enterprise Embassy is giving you a great opportunity. And so that is the opportunity being offered, and asking you to be on this great platform and listen to global leaders who are equipping you and how to do business online. The ideas you will need will help you it will sustain you for the rest of your life. So using different methods. Despite your challenges, look at what Lincoln did. What did he do? He educated himself. We are talking about using different methods. He realized that if he needed to go to the next level, he needed to self-education. Hard work was part of his method. Being resilient was part of his method. Having friends and family members that would support you was part of the method he adopted. And strong values that guided him was part of his method. And of course, the gift of humor is also part of his method. So you see, you don't stick to one pattern and one method. Use different methods to arrive at your destination. Now, so you need to be creative, making something new out of your life. You need to be innovative, using of your various methods. Move from value creation or value addition to value creation and to creative disruption. Now we have moved from just adding value to whatever you are doing. We have moved from just adding value to creating value now. But now industries have even moved from creating value to creative destruction. Creative destruction simply means whatever has been manufactured today, in the next 3 days or 4 days or 1 year, it's outmoded. So the new product comes out. That is creative disruption. A new product really, really replaces their previous product. That is what the concept of creative disruption. So every day, something new is taking place. So you can't keep marking time. So be a man of variety. Now, number 5, build your capacity. And I like that. This one is critical for me. Opportunities doesn't happen. You create them. Tony Robbins said, opportunities don't happen. You create them. Okay? So build your capacity. You can write that down. Build capacity. How do you do that? University certificates alone this time is not enough. In our developed nation, in our complexities of our life and our world, university certificates alone cannot guarantee you a job, cannot guarantee you and sustain you in life. So don't just spend your time thinking that let me just grab a university certificate. That is not enough. Now, so many definitely haven't built the capacity they need. That would take them to the next level. You know, for Abraham Lincoln, he read extensively and developed his writing skills. That was the practical capacity he was developing. His eye was in the White House. He wanted to go into politics. People downplayed him. People felt that he didn't have good education. But because of his goal, he educated himself. He prepared and worked towards that. All right. So that was building capacity. So how ready are you for success? And how hungry are you also for success? 2 important questions. How ready are you for success? How hungry are you for success? So let's look at the example of capacity building. First of all, you need to develop continuous education. You need to learn until finally there is no life in your system again. Until finally you breathe your last breath. Until your last breath. Keep on reading, keep on learning. Number 2, learn new skills as much as possible. This platform, this educative platform is giving you the opportunity to learn some new skills. And thirdly, learn to empower people. If you are working with people, empower them. If you have employed people, empower them. If you have people within your circle of influence, empower them and challenge them to be innovative. And then encourage collaboration, okay? Encourage working with people. Stop the one-man business and start working with people. The next stage is provide relevant training. Okay, it is like learning new skills and having continuous learning. But training is adding value to what you know already. These are the things that when we do and build our capacity. When was the last time you went to a workshop? When was the last time you read a book and you completed it? When was the last time you learned some new skills in life? When was the last time you worked with a group of people to achieve something? Whether in the community, whether in your social groupings, or whether if you're a church person in church. When was the last time you did something fantastic with a group? Okay? So building capacity is very important. We said build capacity for growth and development. It requires strategic approach. And here are the steps. Are you ready for this? Number 1, set clear goals. Where are you going? In the next 10 years, what would your life be? In the next 10 years, what kind of business would you want to have? In the next 10 years, what kind of man would you like to be or woman would you like to be? So set clear goals. Number 2, assess your current reality. What is my current situation right now? What is my current reality? And what will be my future state? So my current state and my future state. So assess your current capacity and find out what do you then have to do. Number 3, once you assess your current capacity, have a growth mindset, a can-do spirit. I need to take my life to the next level. Number 4, we are talking about steps in building capacity. Number 4, invest in learning and development. Invest in learning and development. And number 5, build a strong team, the collaboration concept. Number 6, improve processes, and systems. You know, make sure that you align your goals to your dreams. We'll come to that. And number 7, leverage on technology. That is the reason for this particular workshop by the Kingdom Entrepreneurship and Embassy, you know, under the leadership of Apostle Dominic Aponsan. Leverage on technology. That is very important. And number 8, foster a culture of innovation. Come out with, you know, new dreams, new ideas. Think outside the box. What you need to do to add value. So constant innovation. And number 9, monitor and evaluate your own progress. How well am I performing? You know, share your vision with somebody and let that person hold you accountable. Oh, you said you are going to read a book every 2 months. And at the end of the 2 months, he will ask you, you know, Jack, have you read your book? Because you said you are going to read the book. So when you share those dreams and ideas with someone, he will hold you responsible and accountable, knowing that someone will be asking you that will literally push you into doing what you want to do. And number 10, stay adaptable and resilient. Be prepared to be flexible. Be prepared to be flexible because things change and you need also to change. And that is why we lead through uncertainty. Okay? Number 6, know how to manage success. And this is a quote that came from me. The greatest enemy of success, you want to hear this, is not your mother, not your father, not your neighbor, not your community, not your government, not even your enemy, not your friend, but it is success itself. Let me take that again. The greatest enemy of success is not your enemy. 2, not your friend, but it is the success that you have chopped itself is your greatest enemy. If you don't know how to manage the little success you have, you will ruin your life in the next phase of your life. And I'll give you practical example because somebody will say, oh, Dr. Mensah, I mean, Bishop Doctor, I'm not too sure of this. Well, hold on, just don't run away. Stay put, and I'll just give you a couple of examples. You all know the story of Mike Tyson. He handled millions. We were told he was worth over 400 million US dollars. He was picked from the street, and all of a sudden, he had wealth and great success. What happened to him? He lost his championship belt after being knocked out by James Buster in 1990. He was convicted of rape in 1992, and he lost 4 years of his career to prison. He was also disqualified from the fight against Evander Holyfield in 1997 for biting his opponent's ears. Are you ready for this? He was sentenced to a year in jail in 1999 for assaulting 2 men after a car accident. He tested positive for marijuana after the fight in 2000. Mike Tyson filed for bankruptcy in 2003, despite having earned an estimated 400 million US dollars in his career. You heard me. Having managed and received $400 million, Mike Tyson regrettably filed for bankruptcy in 2003. He served 24 hours in prison in 2007 for driving under the influence of drug possession. Tyson finally spoke publicly and said all his struggles with mental health and substance abuse and has actually, he used that now as a platform to advocate for social justice and mental health awareness. This was a man who had managed 400 million US dollars. He was picked from the street, a homeless young guy. Don King found him, and he was a street guy. He was found by Don King, and then Don King trained him. He became a multi-millionaire, and finally, he went back to become a homeless person. How? Why? Because the greatest enemy to your success is success. It's period. Number 7, change your mindset. All right? Change your mindset. And this was a young man from Nick Woodip who has no arms and legs. And this is what he said. He said, I can either choose to be angry at God for what I don't have, or be grateful for what I do have. So the problem we have most often is our mindset. Most African citizens have a problem of our mindset. Our youth of today is a mindset problem. Our youth of today is a mindset. They all think, oh, until I travel, I'm not going to be better. Until I get out of the country, I'm not going to be better. It's a mindset problem. Leading through uncertainty, change your mindset. Look at me. That is the man without arms and legs. Today, married with 2 beautiful girls and 2 adorable boys. You will ask yourself, who would marry such an individual? Yet, he found a woman, pretty woman, who married him, and they have been blessed with 4 great children. What did he do? It was his mindset. He said, despite his physical limitations, he struggled with depression and feelings of hopelessness for many years. However, he woke up one day and he said he needed to transform himself. And at the age of 17, he realized that he had a choice to make. So that really went into a shift. This shift in mindset changed his life dramatically and, in a very unusual manner. So his life was changed dramatically. He began to focus on his abilities rather than his disabilities. And today, he's a global speaker, a world speaker. He attracts over thousands of people listening to him. He has written several books and is making great money out of his situation. He learned to surf, to play football. Can you believe that? Skydive. He also started a non-profit organization to help others with physical disabilities. Today, he travels around the world, inspiring millions with his message of hope, resilience, and the power of positive mindset. So his best-selling book now, he's a best-selling author, husband and father, as I've told you. And then, so this is the beautiful story. His story really brought a change in mind, and that can lead you to a fulfilling life. So that is the most important thing. Have a change of mind. I said by choosing to focus on the positive and being grateful for what he has, Nick has created a life that is truly inspiring. All right, number 8, build a teamwork. And Napoleon Hill said, your big opportunity may be right where you are now. Your big opportunity may be right where you are now. And on this platform of workshop, your big opportunity is right here with you. How do we know that? This is what organizational leaders will call social capital. What do you have? What do you know with people? You need to build synergy. All right? Synergy simply means, let me explain. In religion, 1 + 1 is 1. In mathematics, 1 + 1 is 2. But in synergy, 1 + 1 is 3, where 3 is greater than the sum of the individual parts. So when you build synergy, you build a team, you are better off. You are better off. So that is why we are saying build a team. Grow your network. Don't forget your classmates. When we talk of your network, think about your classmates. Think about your childhood friends. Think about the people you grew up in your neighborhood. Keep a 360-degree network. In other words, people who are higher than you in life, people who have gone, higher step in life, and then those who are at your level, and then the third aspect is those who are below you. Connect with all these 4 groups of people and build that connectivity. So move away from this one-man business and develop a group business. Unfortunately, a lot of people in Africa everybody is just starting his own business. Instead of they partnering together, coming together to build a business, everybody just want to become a chief executive. So this is the case of Mary Kay Ash. I'm sure majority of you probably may have heard of her. This great woman who manufactured cosmetics, Mary Kay Ash, a great woman who came up with a great story. Mary Kay, founder of Mary Kay Cosmetics, actually encountered gender discrimination, especially in the male-dominated business. But what did she do? Despite all these challenges, she was resilient. She resisted the skepticism. She persisted in pursuing her entrepreneurial vision. So it is vision that has brought you to this platform. And it is vision that will take you to the next phase of your life. So how did Mary Kay do? How did she manage all this? She overcame these challenges by establishing a supportive network in building, networking, building a team, network of women entrepreneurs. She empowered them to succeed in the beauty industry. Gathered women who were not too sure of themselves, she empowered them to also go into the beauty industry and to expand. Someone would say, but if she was already in the beauty industry, why would she empower other people to compete with her? But you see, the more you make people better, the better you also become at the end of the day. That was the principle Mary Kay adopted. So that's what happened. Her commitment to championing female leadership and creating opportunities for women actually led to the growth and the success of her cosmetics industry. So sometimes people think, well, if I know something and I share my knowledge, that guy will be much more knowledgeable. He will compete with me and probably he will take the business out of me. No, the more you learn and the more you share with others, the more expert you become and the better you are at the end of the day. Number 9, seek help when necessary. All right? Seek help when necessary. This is very important for you to take note, and take note of this. Seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Unfortunately, too many people think that when you go about seeking help because you are going through challenges, you want someone to help you overcome these challenges, it's a sign of weakness. No, seeking help is a sign of strength and not weakness. And that even the most successful people need support during challenging times. An example was Oprah Winfrey. At a point, she went through bad childhood trauma and anxiety. She sought for a therapist who managed her and had coaches that helped her to overcome this childhood trauma and anxiety. Richard Branson, the founder of the Virgin Group, also gives credit to his mentors and friends who helped him to navigate business challenges and personal struggles. So guess what? Don't stay at your corner and suffer alone. Don't stay in your corner and scream, and nobody can help you. Go out there and seek help. Number 3, Serena Williams. We know her, that beautiful, great, tennis star player, tennis superstar. But she opened up about her struggles with the postpartum depression. And she sought help from professionals and loved ones. At a point, sometimes I told you, your biggest enemy, the biggest enemy of success is success. She was so successful to the point that everywhere she went, everybody wanted her to autograph, she was in the media space, everywhere. At the point, she just couldn't handle. And then depression set in. But in the midst of that, she went to look for help. So seek help. Prince Harry, we know her. The Duke of Sussex, we knew her. We know him very well. He sought help from mental health, professionals, so that he could cope with the grief, the anxiety, and the stress related to his royal duties. Even Prince Harry had to seek help. So Michelle Obama, the former president of, the former president's wife, Michelle Obama, she said, she sought therapy to cope with the stress of her husband's political career and her own personal struggles. Can you imagine? Michelle Obama was going through personal struggles. Her husband was involved in so serious political career and so much busy as a president that she didn't know how to manage all the complexities of this. The attack on the media, the attack by the media on them, every moment people were just attacking. It was overwhelming. She couldn't manage it. Finally, she had to go and look for help. So hear me. This particular point is extremely important. Seek help. Seeking help doesn't suggest you are weak. It means you are strong. The two greatest enemies to your own progress are, one, ignorance, and yourself. So there are three groups of people I want you to take note of. Number one, the arrogant. The arrogant says he's arrogant. Why? Because he said, I don't know that I don't know. That is the arrogant. He doesn't even know that he doesn't know. And he's speaking with ignorance, arrogantly displaying his ignorance. So the first group of people are those who arrogantly display their ignorance. The saddest thing is that they don't even know that they don't know. Number two group, the humble. The humble, ignorant. I know that I don't know. So I'm going to a workshop to be taught, to be equipped, to ask questions, to become better. I know that I don't know. Now, the third group, the consciously competent, I am acquiring new skills and new information. So these are the second group, they are great. They are good. But the third group, they are really great. They are acquiring new skills and new information. And for me, I believe that for the fact that you are here, you either belong to the second group or the third group. Once you are here, it tells me you belong to the second group or the third group. So this is what we say, seek help and ask for people to help you, you become better. No one has all the answers, and pride will always refuse to ask for help. So you must recognize your shortcomings in this life. Number 10, recognize the contribution of others in your life. Okay, recognize the contribution. Today we heard Apostle Dominic recognizing that, I have been a father to him and I'm a father to him, speaking to his life, coach him, empower him. He's just recognizing people that have contributed and given him opportunity to be where he is in life. Recognize the contributions of others in your life. Richard Branson, I'm giving you some few great leaders. He attributed his success to his partners, saying, I have never done anything alone. Can you imagine that? Richard Branson, I've never done anything by myself alone. Howard Schultz, the former Starbucks CEO, said he gives credit to his employees and partners for the company's success. Sarah Blakely, founder of Spanx, he said she thanks God and thanks the family and friends and mentors for their support and encouragement. Mark Zuckerberg, he acknowledges the contributions of his Facebook co-founders and team members. So people have contributed into our lives. Give them recognition. If you employ people and they are working for you, recognize their input and don't take them for granted. And Michael Jordan, we know her, that great basketball player. He said he gives credit to his coaches, number 2 to his teammates, and 3 to his family for the support and encouragement throughout his career. Somebody contributed to your success. Acknowledge that. Number 11, be willing to share your knowledge. Henry Ford said, be willing to share your knowledge. Henry Ford said, coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. So be willing to share your knowledge. Mary Kay, for example, overcame her challenges by establishing this supportive network group, empowered this woman, shared knowledge, and that led to the expansion of her own career. All right. So share knowledge, and we say, what is it? Be willing to share the knowledge you have. All right. Number 12, understand your assignment. Understand your assignment. Understand where you are going. How do you do that? How to be effective? Here you will look at a triangle or a pyramid. to have values. The values are principles that guides you in life, principles that makes you who you are. Based upon your principles, you can discover the next level of the pyramid is your purpose. Why am I here? What is driving me? Now, when you understand, you can answer the question, why am I here? You can answer the question, what is driving me? That will lead you to develop a vision. Remember, from the beginning, Benny said, leadership is the capacity to translate vision into action. So vision is, what do I want to achieve in life? And then from vision, that will lead you to mission. What do I do? Vision gives birth to mission. What do I do? And then from your mission, what do I want? What are my objectives in life, my goal? So if you look at the left side of there's the arrow, strategic impact. What that means is based upon your values, it impacts your purpose, why you are doing what you are doing, and what drives you. That impacts your vision, and your vision will impact your mission, and your mission. As you do that consistently and continuously, you will achieve your goal. And now when you look at the downward side of the pyramid, from the goal, we set strategic alignment. What that means is that if you know what you want in life, for example, if you are going through health challenges and the doctors have told you there are certain foods you should not eat, you should not eat beyond 7 p.m. and you should avoid certain fatty food. And this is what the doctors have told you. So your goal is probably to lose 30 kilograms. Now, looking at your goal, then it will affect your mission. Your mission is, what do? You will make sure you buy good foodstuffs, healthy food, and you wouldn't eat by 7 p.m. And then your vision is that you now want to have good health. Okay? So your vision is leading you to your purpose. If you have good health, you can take care of your family. You can be strong enough to have jobs. And then it agrees with your values. So when someone sends you to the restaurant and is ordering the junk food or asking you to eat 9 p.m., based upon your values, you are not going to do that. Your goal is in affecting your values. Your goal is affecting your mission. You will not eat beyond 7 p.m. Your goal is affecting your vision. You want health and good health and strength. Your goal is affecting your purpose. Why you want to do this so that you can become relevant to your society. And your goal is finally being sustained by your values. That helps you to take the right decision. So you can only be effective when you have your goal, downward trend, it aligns to everything about your life. And then the upward stream, it impacts towards your goal. All right? Number 13, keep humility in focus in the midst of success. Keep humility in focus in the midst of success. Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, yet an ordinary man, and he's cool with people. Oprah Winfrey, great millionaire, but who has struggles in life, but she shares his lessons, and she said there are so many things she has learned in life, and she relates with the ordinary man, the woman on the streets. Richard Branson, great founder of the Virgin Group, he says he listens and learns from others. In the midst of the apex of his success, he said, he sits down with ordinary people on the streets, and they have fun together. Look at Nelson Mandela, the former president of South Africa, demonstrated remarkable humility and forgiveness. After being released from prison, people thought he was going to, vindicate. He was going to probably, pour his frustrations and anger, revenge. That's the word, revenge the white. He's going to revenge the people who maltreated him. But he said to himself, what is the essence of revenge? I would rather want to live to forgive. Because when you refuse to forgive, it's like taking the poison and wanting somebody else to die. So in the midst of that success, he reminded himself of his humanity. Wayne, The Rock Johnson, he said, despite his massive success in Hollywood, he remains humbled and grateful to his fans, often sharing inspiring stories and thanking his fans for who he is. So be human in the midst of power, position, fame, and wealth. Take note of this. Be human in the midst of power, position, fame, and wealth. And the respect, the honor, the support, the protocol are all for the position and not for you. Take note, when people respect you, they honor you, they support you, they provide protocol for you, it's for the position and not for yourself. So hold that position in trust and be careful. And don't allow that position to get into your head. The next thing you should take note is when you rise to power, fame, and wealth, keep humility in check. And when you rise to the position of power, fame, and wealth, remember to maintain a heart of humility also. And how do you react at the peak of your success? This is a question I want you to consider as you go home from today's meeting. And number 14, finally, don't ignore the God factor in your life. Don't ignore the God factor in your life. Look at people who have succeeded in their life. And Oprah Winfrey said she considers the role of God in her life and career. And Terry Perry, an actor, also said, gave credit to the God factor for his success and often incorporates his faith-based themes into his work. Denzel Washington has credited God for the success in his entertainment industry. And Tim Tebow, the NFL quarterback, also said he gives credit to his Christian faith and he shared his faith publicly. Steve Curry, the NBA player, also has spoken about his Christian faith and his credit he gives to God. So don't forget the God factor in your life. Don't forget the higher force in your life. Add faith to your life. Have something bigger than yourself and depend on something bigger than yourself. Seek strength from the higher source. All right? And then make sure most often we begin small in a humble way, but we end with pride and independence of the Creator. When we achieve success, who gets the glory? Think about it. I'm leaving you with this statement. When we achieve success, who gets the credit? Who gets the glory? In conclusion, these are the things that I've already told you. Don't analyze every problem from an expert point of view. Respect the opinion of everyone. And then don't look down upon the opinion of those that you think are below you. And then, finally, what would you take away? What are your key takeaways? For me, the important thing is the leadership. Is the capacity to translate vision into reality. Having said that, thank you for being with me throughout this 1 hour moment. I believe we have deposited something in your life, and I believe you have been imparted for something good. And we will meet you again. Thank you.